Welcome to Just a Conversation, the podcast where we talk about the topics that matter to you. I'm your host, Mikul Elcock, and joining me is my co-host,
Aisha Reid.
Right. Today, we're focusing on the importance of technical education in building our nation's workforce. From vocational training to international competitions, technical education is opening doors and filling skill gaps essential to our economic development. Joining us are three experts who each play a role in advancing technical education. Dario Walcott from WorldSkills Barbados, Moriah Hill, our very own Best of Nation honoree, and Arlette Knight-Olton, a dedicated educator in the beauty industry. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys, welcome to the podcast. I guess we're going to start. You guys are going to introduce yourself, but today the topic is a very important topic of sorts. A lot of people don't really, pay enough attention, I think, to this subject matter, which is that there are a wide variety of skill sets that the workforce needs. And we kind of put all of our proverbial eggs in one basket. So today's conversation is about letting our audience know the different ways that you can use these skill sets to make money, be productive, be a productive member of society, and contribute. So let's start with Dario. Tell us a bit about yourself, your role in WorldSkills. What is it that you do?
Okay, so I am the lead officer for our WorldSkills Barbados program. Mm-hmm. Barbados is the member organization, TVET Council, where I work, is a member organization for WorldSkills International, yes, which is a global organization that hosts the world's largest vocational skills competition.
Right.
We've been full members since 2017, and I am the technical delegate for Barbados to WorldSkills International and WorldSkills Americas. Right. And my role basically is to prepare our young people, our young competitors for the international competition. And bring some of those, learning some of those ideas and experiences back to Barbados to raise the quality of our national TVET system.
Right, okay. Question just before I come over to you, Ray. How would you define vocational skills?
Vocational skills?
Yes.
Well, I saw the clip that you sent first. I started to wonder what you really meant by vocational skills as well. For me, first year of vocational training is training for a job, training for any industry or whatever.
Right.
But what I really think we should drive home is competency-based education and training.
Right.
That is all the knowledge, skills, attitudes required to complete a job competently. Right. For me, that's it, competency-based education and training.
Okay.
So whatever job. So if you are in accounts, you need to know accounting software, you need to know the ins and outs in knowledge. We talk about hands-on training, and we talk about people better with their hands. Your hands don't operate without your head.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Very
so
true.
you need to have underpinning knowledge, and that's what we talk about as well when we build occupational standards, underpinning knowledge. So for me, I think you're referring to competency-based education,
right,
and that could go across the board to even some traditional academic areas that we talk about.
Right.
I just mentioned accounts.
Right.
And that could go to the traditional trades that we speak about in terms of carpentry, masonry, cooking, you name it, hairdressing.
Right.
So I believe that is the methodology that we should use, competency-based education and training.
Right.
Not one or the other. We talk about academics, and for me, academics is just abstract learning. You could know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but one what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but for me, competency-based education and training, that's just like, we talk about law, you're going to do a degree in law, but you still got to go to law school. Why?
Yeah. Right.
You're not called an accountant until you do ACCA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Competency-based education.
Good. So now that we got that figured out, good, we can now have a conversation from an informed perspective. So that's why we wanted to get that definition. Moriah.
Hi.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Moriah Hill. I recently participated in the WorldSkills 2024 in Lyon, France.
Yes, please.
I represented Barbados in cooking. I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but I got the Best of Nation award, which made me really proud and happy to be a Bajan. And I'll say that experience really opened my eyes a lot to, I will say, how far behind we are, really,
Right.
especially in the culinary industry, the hospitality industry as a whole, because I observed the service skill as well.
Yes.
So we have a lot of growth to do. That's what I will say. Yeah.
I just want to though that from the time you were chosen to go to represent your country in France,
proud.
you won the prize already.
I would say I was shocked, honestly, because I actually was not even going to compete. My friend, he was like, "Man, just do it," and I was like, "Okay, I'll just do it for fun." So I just went in to have fun, for real, and just show my love and passion for cooking. So that was just what was first on my mind, honestly, not winning.
Okay.
So the fact that I did, I was just so elated and happy.
Yes.
And then the fact that I was chosen also to go and represent Barbados, that was just even like further.
Yes.
Icing on cake.
Yes.
Yeah, the icing on cake.
Arlette, coming over to you, our beauty professional. Tell us a bit about yourself and your history.
My name is Arlette Knight-Olton. I've been in the industry for 40 plus years. I have trained and I was trained. I also had the opportunity to go to WorldSkills Russia in 2019.
You got some traveled people.
And it really was an eye-opener.
Right.
How far behind we are. As Dario said, in competency, in confidence,
Right.
in the skill.
Right.
I was amazed when I saw 12-year-olds doing fantastic work.
Right.
But we need to have a form and structure in our industry. We don't have that.
Yeah.
And we need to have trainers to do the training, to bring us to the standards that Dario talked about. And we need to develop those standards first before we do all that.
Okay.
So what do you think is the process of developing those standards, Dario? What is holding us back from developing them?
Because both of them just said
The same thing.
thing.
So, I mean, what's stopping us from getting there?
I think we're under-resourced. Let me put it that way. Some of these standards should be reviewed probably every 2 to 3 years, like at IT.
Correct.
If you're able to, things change in IT every few months. Some of these IT certifications that you need to renew every couple of months or every couple of years. We don't have the resources to renew standards every couple of years. However, I think the challenge we have in Barbados is that we think we have to do everything ourselves. We don't.
Right.
WorldSkills renews their occupational standards every 2
So
years.
you could just piggyback on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those standards they get feedback from the experts who go to the competitions. Arlette would tell you that they give feedback on the technical descriptions, and then they send them around the world to be validated. Like, is this really what happens in your country? And then those become the basis of the competition.
So maybe not taking advantage of having that information right there. I mean, we're a member since 2017, as you said. So what's the problem?
I don't know. TVET Council is not a regulatory body. We can't mandate what any institution in Barbados does.
Right.
All we can do is suggest and recommend and advise.
Right.
We had a past year that you say we need to use persuasion. I don't know how well we're doing that. But that's one of the challenges that we have. Under-resourced, and we're not using the little that we have.
Well, you know.
I was gonna ask him if he thinks that the practical training that is available on island is, I don't know what to say.
Up to par?
Is it accessible
Is
enough?
it up to par? Are we doing enough in it? And, I mean, even in secondary school,
I
even
see
in primary
somebody shaking
school,
their
that kind
head.
of things.
I don't want to look.
So
Because I think that we falling behind, to me personally, in that area.
So short answer is no.
Good.
We're not.
Okay.
And I when I came back from probably Kazan, it hit me. That was our second international competition.
Where's Kazan, buddy?
Russia.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We probably would never go back there.
Yeah.
But it hit me, and I remember we were having a brain dump at work, and I said, you know what our challenge is? We train for competence for a competition that assesses excellence.
Right.
So when students come from the training institutions, we know how to train them to the WorldSkills standard. When the time that we are taking to train them for competence, people mastering skills. So when you see these young people from around the world, nice skills. I mean, I see them, and this is the attitude, and Arlette spoke about confidence.
Right.
When you're competent, you become confident.
Correct.
If you know what to do.
Right.
So, no, your answer is no, we're not doing enough. We speak about higher level qualifications. I mean, I had the conversation, we have it all the time. You could go and do a master's in whatever at Cave Hill. But higher level qualifications in Barbados, most of our qualifications are, we would say in our system, like level 2 and level 3. They're not on par with degree level programs.
Right.
You're not going to go to Cave Hill and do a bachelor's in accounting and your lecturer has a bachelor's in accounting. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But in some cases, I can't say it's any fault of the trainer. I mean, it's still your responsibility as an individual to upgrade, but where are the opportunities?
Right.
Right? So, I mean, we've implemented earlier this year technical degrees. We had game art and animation. We're looking at the gaming industry right now.
Congratulations on that, baby.
Thank you. Yes. And I think that is where TVET in Barbados needs to go. But again, TVET is expensive. Game art and animation, I mean, you need a laptop and some software, and then you could deliver that. But imagine doing it for hairdressing and cooking.
Okay.
You understand? So, again...
Explain it to me, because I don't understand. Imagine doing it for hairdressing and cooking.
Was needed.
The materials, I mean, it is expensive. So, for me to perfect a graphic, I could erase, delete, cut, paste. I could do that in the entire night.
From that point of view,
Right?
yeah.
Consumables. But let's say you have an issue with nice skills with kind of veg. You want julienne and you want
You got to buy enough veg.
enough veg, you know what I'm saying? And probably go through enough cuts.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that in itself, it takes time, it's expensive. I find too often we want short wins.
Right.
Oh. But we starting it too late.
Definitely. That
That's
was one of the
what-
things
right.
that we saw in 2017, that we started TVET too late. I know there's CVQs in schools,
Right.
but Arlette could tell you, when we went to the school, the WorldSkills has a program called One School, One Country. And we're doing robotics and thing now, and that was 5-6 years ago. And they see young people 12 years old assembling robots. If you see the kind of things that they're building out of wood and metal and that kind of things. The first time we participated in car painting here in Leon. And the first time you learn car painting in a training institution is when you get to go to SJPI.
Yeah.
Look at the intake. How many people can SJPI take in a year?
Right.
That's crazy.
Which is the
Opportunities.
question I was going to ask about skills gaps. Like, what is there any like specific areas that we are like have notable gaps in, or is it?
I feel it's all.
across
Yeah.
the board? Is it
I feel
is it
it's
across
all.
The challenge, again, the challenge with the skill gaps, all right, let me take for instance. Imagine running an organization and your accountant only has CAPE and associate degree. Your chief financial controller, your chief financial officer only has CAPE, associate degree. That is what we're doing with skills in Barbados.
Okay.
That's it for me in terms of being able to explain that to you.
Okay.
But you want your chief financial to got bachelor's, ACCA, CGA, CFA,
Everything.
15 years experience, all the technology and access to everything, but it's not the same with skills.
Arlette, what do you think is the problem, saying that you are actually in the industry and in that profession? Because I know, when do we start teaching people at SJPA again to be or earlier?
First, we need to formalize the industry. We don't have any form and we don't have any structure. And for years now, I've been hearing, oh, you didn't do anything at school, so you can go and do hairdressing.
Like it's an afterthought. Right.
But
But people
hairdressing
breaking
is so
down the doors.
complex
Yeah.
that's why the fallout rate is so high. Because it's not only about using the chemical, it's about understanding why the chemical is doing what it's doing, when to use it,
Yes.
understanding the person you're doing it on. There's so much chemistry, name it, behind being a stylist or being in the industry, because you have to do some biology. Because
Right.
Dario gets his hair cut. He's a male. He's biology. Then you're using chemistry because you need to understand how the product does what it does. And then you need to know some math. So it's not only about doing hair.
Right.
There's so much behind that. You need to manage your money. So there are other things that you have to do. But I just find that I've gone to schools And the schools are not equipped. Some of them are. But it is not a program where you come out of school, because that should be the basic. When you come out of secondary school, it should be on the curriculum. You come out understanding, having the basic. When you go to SJPI or Barbados Vocational Training, that's supposed to be higher education, right?
Yeah, tertiary.
So when you get there, when the business person gets a client, a student from SJPI or even the school, we now have to train them
So they're starting from fresh.
to do basic.
Yeah.
So you come from SJPI for 6 weeks. What can you do in 6 weeks? So Barbados Vocational Training Board, they're 2 to 5 years.
The apprenticeship
The whole program is 5 years, which is a good program.
Right.
Because they spend 2 years in the school, in the business. So in that 2 years, they understand and get to know a lot. They build their confidence, their competency, and stuff like that.
Okay.
But then when you turn up and you have to train somebody for WorldSkills, that's a whole different ball game.
I can imagine.
Because what I saw in Russia made me even come out and think about me. Because I'm like, we just stirring up in mud.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
and I might be a little harsh sometimes, but I just find, I think Tiva is doing a good job,
Right.
but it should be a criteria that trainers who are training need to be 2 levels above who they're training.
Okay.
It's true.
That is not happening.
That's basically what Dario just said, to be honest.
It's not happening.
And I have an anecdote for when you said in the beginning that they kind of think about these kind of things as an afterthought, because in the height of COVID, Aisha would be able to verify these stories, but we had to answer a lot of questions from the public, and you would be surprised how quickly the public wants to know when I can get my hairdresser, I need to get my hair do, I
Yes,
need a
correct.
haircut, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So it was then when people were starting to understand, well, this thing is very important to them. Moriah, how would you say, what kind of training have you received, and how would you say it has helped you?
Like elevate your career or anything like that.
Okay. I guess I will start from the beginning, like from where I went to school, because I went to school at Harrison College, so therefore they didn't have like a nutrition program, so I had to make the decision
That?
What is that? You have to ask the education. So I made the decision to do it outside of school, so I went to Lodge, and even what they're saying, like even in secondary school, they don't even teach you basics, really. They teach you how to pass. So in my opinion, they teach you how to be average.
Right.
And so that's how I also felt going into Pomerine. Don't get me wrong, there's some good teachers there.
Yes.
But again, is the certification, making sure they're qualified and higher than where we are at. So then I also felt like they also were training us to be average, to be average in the industry.
Right.
So is making the decision to further your certification, further your skills. So then I also decided to go and become ACF certified with Peter Edie. So I have the first culinarian certification. So then after that will be sous chef, which I'm going towards. So then also being exposed to the competition really also helped me see how far behind I really am. So even I went to Skills USA. That helped me open my eyes in terms of my level of confidence, in terms of my level of skill. And then I went to Skills Canada, where I also got to interact with some teachers there from the NCFF school. So then I also realized how far behind our tutors are compared to them. So then it was just like, yeah, we really need to make a change coming back to Barbados.
All right. If you want, could you tell me like one of the light bulb moments for you when you stepped through those doors at one of those?
Before you get there though, so your profession is you're a chef.
Yes, I'm a chef at
Okay.
Coral Reef Club. Sorry.
Okay, right.
Yeah. What was the lightning bolt moment when you were like, whoa, these people on a different level?
Skills USA.
Right.
When I saw the Canadian competitor, I was like, yeah, I gotta step it up. I was like, Peter, we gotta step it up, because if we don't, we ain't getting nowhere.
What was it like? Their presentation?
The presentation, her confidence, like Even when she came
Confidence
in
is
and
a
how she
recurring
was speaking
theme.
to me and like how she was carrying herself, I was like, this girl.
And don't forget, they're training from every
Yeah,
section.
I was like, yeah, this girl knows what she's doing.
No, nobody expect that somebody going to Harrison College training to be a chef. They
No.
don't. So the pre-bill can probably be on the podcast and like, what you choose to do that? Because it's still crazy that in 2024, all of our scholarships are only awarded to certain types of education.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's madness. Right?
Very.
You say certain types, you mean it's one type.
It's crazy.
And Moriah didn't mention it, but I don't think your colleague from Canada medaled either.
She did. She
She
did.
came
She
up
got
third?
the medallion of excellence.
That's right. So
Well,
she-
she,
in
oh
terms
yeah,
of
she
medals,
did.
she didn't come first
Yeah,
and
she
all
didn't come
third.
first, second, or third.
So that
Wow.
would tell you that.
Yes,
And that's super
and I was shocked because I was expecting her to be like maybe second, third,
Okay.
and when I just saw medallion of excellence, I was like, as soon as I saw she got it, I was like, no, I didn't get it.
So how we expect that? We want people to go to these competitions and we starting when you're big.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we come back, we evaluate, we do a lot of different. We include a lot of things into our program.
Right.
So our director, he's been working on partnerships around the world to get technical degrees.
Okay.
So I think Kenya University, TVET, I can't remember the exact names, but there's some in Africa. We signed an MOU with VCOM, is a company out of China, to get teacher exchange programs for our instructors here for the universities and colleges in China. Hopefully, we get these off the ground. We're able to raise the level of our instructors in our programs here. We are also looking for WorldSkills and right now to prepare people for 2028.
Right. Okay.
We are going to offer, and then the cat with the bag, we are going to offer certification based on the WorldSkills occupational standards.
Okay.
Right? And I am saying that now because if you can leave school with a level 1 and thing, and TVET Council is going to offer you, and this is not just going to be for people going to WorldSkills 16 and 18. If you was 96 and you want to be certified in the WorldSkills occupational standards, we will provide those opportunities for you. Because we recognize, again, we have no authority over any institution. Some of the institutions, they don't have the resources either to do these things. But with the WorldSkills community, we have access to the resources, we have access to equipment. VCOM is donating equipment to Barbados from the WorldSkills competition. One of those optoelectronic stations costs $50,000 US.
Oh Lord,
You know what I'm saying?
Say US. I
US
was already
dollars,
with you, boy.
right? And it's state-of-the-art equipment and it's optoelectronics. Don't ask me what it is. I will tell you probably nothing next year, right? But in terms, so we don't have the resources, but we need to do networks, collaborate. I feel like especially at a competition is this institution versus that institution. This trainer better than that trainer. Like, we too small though. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
honestly,
It's true.
Yeah,
We too small for
you
it.
mentioned programs that were offered, which is what I was gonna come to ask you next. So you covered that already.
But-
Is there any specific way people should know how to access these things when they come around, or is there a specific way to interface with you guys that?
stay tuned to our channels.
Okay.
We come in shortly, definitely.
And then we also have to start to change mindsets too, because as Arlette mentioned earlier, it can't just be that you're failing over school, so go and be a hairdresser, go and be a carpenter. We need to understand that tailors is make crazy money, right? You can have a career in these skills, and we need to start pushing that.
yeah, that's not just an afterthought.
Right.
Right, because that's how it comes across
Yeah.
right now.
But skills to me is the way to go.
I'm saying, I started, I didn't do
Because
one.
you calling a plumber. You better take out a little, go out and get a loan for when he's finished.
Right.
An electrician. Even hairstylists make real money.
Right.
And if the government was interested,
They say, hey, look, Ron, you say here, says make a lot of money, so
hairstylists make a lot of money. And if government were just focusing on formalizing the skill sector, not only hairdressing, they are able to get revenue from it.
Correct. Yes.
So you have to begin with the end in mind. What you're spending all of this money to send humans to school,
Yes.
and they're coming out and some of them feel so lost and so don't know what to do and how to do it. We need to change up how we deliver knowledge so that the person who's receiving it can understand what it is that you're doing.
Right.
And so that everybody is not on the government purse.
Right. Yes.
People can provide for them and their families. And we just need to do things differently. We are not.
What are some of the ways you think that, if you had to put a few little suggestions in a hat, that we could help make that process of like treating these things more professional from earlier on? Well,
Because we start in the school, and you can. I don't know how we're going to change people's mindsets about thinking that one career is better than the other, right? I don't know how we would change that. That's probably for somebody else with more degrees than me.
The electrician and diploma and thing.
But what I find is, if you are going to do beauty in schools, they are in schools for a long time. So they might start at what? Form 3? Or 4? I'm not sure what level they start at.
Probably 4.
But when they come out of that institution, they should know the basic in it and have some confidence.
Right.
When they go to SJPI, then you have to turn up knowing who you are and what it is you want. Do you want to do nails? Do you want to do makeup? Do you want to do whatever? And that can be a standalone module that you come out and you're competent in.
Correct.
So that when you take on a customer, you don't feel like you want to go, like we put a mic in front of Beijing and they run, right? So when you come out to SJPI or Barbados Vocational Training Board, you come out confident that you know what you know.
right.
So the trainers, again, have to be training at a higher level to deliver that, know how to deliver that, so that the person receiving the information comes out and they're confident.
Okay. So Moriah, would you say then that like some of the skills that you learn at these competitions and even in general training align well? You say you were
At Coral Reef Club.
right. Do you think they align well with what your industry needs, requires from you?
Yes, 100%. From what I learned from the experts at Coral Reef, the experts at WorldSkills. And then also I was able to be trained by a master chef from America who also imparted a lot of knowledge to me. And I think all of that can be added into the industry, but it can't just be from my one.
That's what I'm saying. You're right.
And
More than you.
it's very difficult as a young person new to the industry to then try and influence those who have already been in it, to let them see that, hey, this way is better, or hey, maybe try it this way, you'll get a better outcome, or maybe, hey, raise your standards, this is how it's supposed to be done. Because I've tried, but it's very difficult.
I saw Dario was like bursting to say something just now, so I want release yourself.
Everything you may not finish today. I go back to what Arlette mentioned about when we start. I find maybe it's societal, but we kind of hide our children from knowledge. Oh, this body too young to know this. You too young to play with this.
Correct.
Just teach them. Teach them. If you explain to a child that fire is going to burn them and they get burned, they're not going to do it again.
Right.
Right? Teach them from young. And that's what other countries are doing that we're not doing. You have to do maths in an abstract way. You have to do chemistry. But I can guarantee you that if you taught chemistry to hairdressing students, the same chemistry with chemicals and the biology and anatomy and physiology, people will understand it rather than just looking at a poster.
Yeah.
You're applying it to something.
Yes.
It's easier to learn that way.
Much
And then you talk about mindset. You know when your mindset can change? When we understand that our sharpest minds are not those that have mastery of the English language.
It's true.
You know years that them is who's they break children.
Right.
Oh, he speaks well. Oh, this body went to school at this place. You know why? Because you do good in maths and English and comprehension. Simple as that, right? So why we have this all the time.
Yes.
Why would Moriah want to do cooking
Correct.
because she loves it.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
wants that when she goes to work.
Passion.
She actually wants
She
to go
feel
to
good
work.
about it.
Exactly.
How many of us used to talk about afterthoughts? How many of us did a degree program as an afterthought?
I then ask
I'm miserable at
What
work.
we doing?
Why am I here? Right?
right.
And you can still do an afterthought, be competent, and even excel.
I make some money, yeah.
Moriah did WorldSkills as an afterthought after some encouragement from a friend. But look who's the best in the nation.
Oh,
She was best of competition at WorldSkills Barbados. And best of nation. What Moriah did not tell you is that she missed a medallion of excellence by 6 points.
I didn't
Right?
want to relive it.
So I mean, like you almost and the medallion is given to competitors who are at the world skill standard but don't get first, second, or third.
Oh,
Okay.
that's wonderful.
Right? So just to be in the top half, you miss
Yeah.
it by 6 points. I mean, like let's hear our dear
So,
lady.
what's the importance of people attending competitions like this, apart from training, the training they receive, but I mean for the country as well?
Listen, if we can get training to internationals, we talk about global citizenship and to prepare a global workforce. Some of the tools and equipment that you see at WorldSkills, we've never seen in Barbados. I remember we were preparing competitor, I think, in automobile technology. You went to garage to learn about this wheel alignment tool, about heated seats here. These people got this in one simulator or one location.
Right.
You get access to those kind of things. You get access to the networks at WorldSkills. You get training on those things. You're preparing people for international. You know, when you look in the paper, you see we were unable to find a suitable candidate, so we got to bring in. So what do you think, guys?
You know,
Because we're not training people to the level that's required. They're not trained to international standards. Now, when we talk, people get offended.
As is their rate.
Well, I mean,
zero rate to talk to.
right.
Yeah.
So, but we ain't just I ain't just talking because I've seen it and understand that we have to operate at some standard. We talk about quality in our TVET system. Industry is the biggest consumer of TVET.
It's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Industry and education need to work together to make sure you get a quality product.
Right.
How can the biggest car manufacturing company know that you got issue with brakes, people complaining about brakes, and you're not listening to your consumer, and you're putting out this, what's going to happen? They're not going to sell.
Exactly.
And the same thing is happening with industry.
So,
We don't want the people that are coming out because they're not ready for industry.
so they don't work together right now?
Not as we should.
No, as we should. Okay.
I mean, when we develop occupational standards, we create working groups with people in industry, right? But again, we don't upgrade our standards as much as or revise our standards as regularly as we should because of resources. So by the time we finish one, it's time to start another. Or by the time we finish one and start another, it's time to review the last one that you did. We don't have the resources for that. We need networks. We need industry to get involved. So SJPI may not have a wheel alignment tool, but Inchcape may.
It's true. So,
SJPI may not have a state-of-the-art paint booth, but Courtesy might, Automotive Art might, BCC Hotel Gina Norman Holder Hospitality Institute may not have a barista, a coffee machine, but Ocean Stew might. We work with industry. Can't.
so how you think we could get that done?
Again, we need some network. So again, those are all things that we're talking about in our new strategy for WorldSkills Barbados in terms of we even talk about sector skills councils in Barbados. So sector, what does the sector want? What does the automotive sector want? What does the culinary sector? What does the beauty sector want? Arlette talks about standards. I personally believe just like how an electrician should have a license because you could seriously a hairdresser should have a license.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
We've all seen mishaps with hairdressers.
Yes.
Right?
I think there's YouTube channels dedicated.
we have challenges with car painting. You know the kind of chemicals that come from paint.
Yeah.
But people can still paint the car on the tree because there are no standards. Once you think look good, that's all we think about. And we see that all the time in competitions. And one we just add, that's one of the major things in WorldSkills competitions. At the end of every competition, I is here, some boy thief, some boy cheat. That means the words that you come. But nobody ever takes the time to look at the score sheet to see that you have to use the correct technique.
Yeah.
You have to dispose of the waste correctly.
Yes.
They just look and see,
Time.
oh, this. Yeah, exactly.
Finish on time.
Because that's something that we don't do here. You know, you go this small, right?
Finish in time.
I can done your thing by tomorrow. And
3 weeks later.
you ain't got it, right?
Yeah.
Because
Weeks. That was a quick one.
so WorldSkills is about the process of the occupation as well, and not just the finished
end
product.
result, yeah.
You understand? I think that is one of the major challenges that we have. And Moriah said it earlier. You're just doing this thing to pass. So if you think look good, then you pass.
But that's just how I find that our system is set up. We just want people to pass.
Yep.
Pass an exam and pass this.
You know-
we think about the
pass
future.
is a
But does it
A
come
pass is
back?
pass.
Does it come back full circle then to bite the industry?
It would.
Do you? I don't know if in conversation with stakeholders, does it ever come to a place where people are like, oh, we need this specific type of thing, but we can't find. As you mentioned about
The adding paper.
The adding paper. Is that something common?
Yeah, it is. I mean, they complain about the institutions all the time, but again, we need to be able to form networks. I think in Aisha, I can't remember the exact name, Regional Association of Technical Vocational something in ASEAN, you know, the Association of the Southeastern.
Yes.
They have a network of 26 universities that focus on innovation in TVET. I mean, we ain't got 26 universities here, but we got a few
We got a
public
few,
things.
yeah,
We could come together and say, look, this is what we want from TVET. We could develop our sector skills councils. The automotive industry should say, look, an automotive painter should be able to do boom, 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 boom. This is what we're going to do to ensure that everybody coming out of your training institution can do this.
Can meet these
When
levels.
you go up to employer now, you're just learning how the culture is, what the procedures are
Correct.
at that employer and what's not, right? But I think the major thing is that TVET needs a champion.
Okay. Arlette, what are some areas you think that people could specialize in the industry that you specialize in?
We could specialize in any of these sectors. You could be a colorist, you can be a nail tech, makeup artist, tattoo artist, massage therapist.
Tattoo artist falls into that spectrum too. I would not have even put tattoo artist in that
Yes,
category.
it's
Okay.
all beauty.
Right.
And our association, Barbados Beauty Professional Association, covers all that.
Right.
But because we don't have any standards, anybody can do anything because there's no requirement for anything to do a hairdressing course.
With a
You
health
just start.
certificate. Just want a health
Yeah,
certificate, right?
you get health, and most people don't get health
And
certificates.
sometimes you don't even do the course.
They don't do the course. They just go on
University of
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes,
Just
go
go
on
print the
YouTube and see,
certificate.
but and then they mess up.
Let me tell you, I had somebody put some relaxer in my hair a time and a half, and my hair fall off. And he could do it.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand the chemical aspect of it. They don't know that sodium hydroxide is main ingredient in relaxers, and that is the main ingredient in neat.
You
You
remove
see?
all-
If on too long, that's what happens.
Yep.
So it is the ammonia thioglycolate. That's one in curls.
I hear learning.
And then you can get so many different things happening, and people don't know. People can be allergic to the same sodium hydroxide. People can be allergic to color. You will see somebody swell up in front of you doing the color, and you don't know what to do
Yeah.
because you did not do a test.
Yeah, certified.
You didn't do a test for the product if you're on the product
Right.
work. You did not do a consultation. None of those things come up.
True.
So you
Yeah, 'cause
just
we just jump in. We
want
don't do consultations.
The end would be paying you, and you go. But I think in our industry, something will have to happen real
Drastically.
drastically to somebody for
It should
and
not
somebody
have to come
sue
to that.
because I know
Right.
somebody who called me that.
real bad to the right person.
Yes,
But we all feel like we're frightened of standards, though, because
Yes.
every time I hear
Yes,
the word
we are.
standard, but why?
I mean,
because
Arlette
you
and I
are
just had the
it holds you
conversation.
accountable.
And
But
it excludes others.
Okay.
I think that's the challenge. So if let's say all of us in here decided to do styling, and somebody put a standard on it that we have to adhere to on the table, who you think in here can be able to go for it?
Yeah, Arlette.
Exactly, because we ain't
I
know.
give that time something. I go get my Arlette
And,
level.
and here's the other thing too, right? So the Barbados Accreditation Council is there to recognize training, right? You mentioned training and what's up, but what are you training to?
Standard. What are you training to?
Yeah.
You could anybody. You see how anybody
So
could
we
open a
train to a
salon.
standard and we ain't got a standard.
Anybody, no, I mean anybody
Main
could
trainer
go and
to
open a training. Say I offering a training workshop in XYZ, and it can be $800 or $900. You get your material, and they can teach you how I
Just
do
do it.
what I do.
All right.
What's the standard where you're training to? Who says that you're doing the right thing?
Okay.
That's crazy.
Moriah, is there any advice that you would give to any younger listeners, even anybody actually that wants to pursue the career field you're in?
I won't even say younger because Dario said that it
No,
could be
I would
96,
say
right?
just
It
I had
could be
to pull back
96. Props to y'all
the
for
thing
that.
coming there all 90 saying you can come and do what you gotta do. So any advice you would give some person that is interested in being a part of your field, like the things they should want to work on in
Or
themselves?
work towards, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all. Apply yourself for sure. And you're going to have to do a lot of things on your own. And you're going to have a lot of learning to do. You're going to have to apply yourself. You're going to have a lot of reading to do as well, because being a chef is not just practical stuff. You also have to read.
Tell them.
It's also, again, it includes chemistry, biology, having knowledge of animals and
Yes.
different food groups, etc., etc. And then also to don't let people deter you from not doing it, no matter the age, because a lot of people from like WorldSkills, they were starting from like 12 years old and all that sort of stuff. And then even some of them were at the previous WorldSkills too, watching us to get ready for the next WorldSkills they're about to attend to. So I would just say, again, keep your head down, apply yourself, and make sure you have the passion and love for it.
Okay, excellent. All right, so we're gonna get ready to wrap. So this is the last little segment here. So I want each person. I'm gonna ask you each a question. So we start with Dario. I wanted you to share your vision for expanding the technical training programs in Barbados. Like, what do you see as the future for that sphere?
I would like higher level programs being offered in Barbados. And I don't want to say degree because we offer vocational qualifications up to level 8 or something that I think on the framework, which should be equivalent to like masters and doctoral and so on. I would like to see that so that if I am in fashion technology, I don't have to go and do, because they want a high level qualification, do a degree in management. We had people that had to do that. Because if you can teach, you gotta go a degree, even if it in what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see that fully implemented, even if that is in partnership with industry. That is first division. I would like to see Barbados medal at WorldSkills, definitely. That would mean they probably retire after that. I would feel like I've arrived, you know what I mean? Like, and I would like people to understand and embrace competency-based education and training. CBET.
To any of our listeners or viewers, please help make this man happy.
Want me to retire?
He's ready. He wants it. So make it happen. Arlette, what do you think about the future of the beauty profession in Barbados? What do you think the role your association could play in the grand scheme of things?
Our goal is that we get as I said again, structure and form in the industry where we know where we are, because I'm not so sure that the beauty industry knows whether their education, whether they are what. I'm not so sure that we know exactly where we are, where we fit, and that it is taken seriously from secondary school. And that everyone who is in the industry has, you call it, Dario, has
You need high level certification?
not only certification, license to practice, and not only going to get a doctor certificate that say that you can handle, we don't handle food. We handle products.
Wait, tell me that again. Y'all have to get a...
We have to get a doctor certificate.
And that's all it
says
takes.
that's all it takes. And I've gone overseas to many hair shows and cannot register. Simply because you have to put in your license number. So what we have to do then is to put in our business registration, and they accept that. But outside of that, we can't get in. So you feel as if you are really from a little third world country that is not pushing above its weight.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, Moriah, could you tell us a bit about your aspirations if you're going to help Dario with his retirement plan? What would you say to inspire others who want to pursue these careers in these fields?
First of all, yes, I do plan to help because I have come out with like a serious passion, looking forward to making sure someone in the skill set so that goes into the next WorldSkills medals, because we were really rooting for it this year.
Yes.
I can speak on behalf of all the competitors who really wanted it, and we all felt very sad that we didn't. So I will be playing a part in making sure that we do get it next time, along with some of the rest of us. And then in terms of other people doing it, I would 100% recommend it because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You meet so many people, you experience so many things, you can go so many places, and you grow so much. I would say I've grown so much in the last 2 years, from training, from traveling, from interacting with different people. So I would say 100% put your head down and apply yourself and come and do the competition, do the certifications, and grow your skill.
Great. Awesome. Well, I wanted to thank you guys for coming. I want to thank our audience for joining us on Just a Conversation. A big thank you again to Dario, Moriah, and Arlette for sharing their experiences, insights on technical education. I hope today's episode inspired somebody. We really want to help Dario with his retirement plan. So I hope that you were feeling inspired. If you are, you can check JS Barbados. I'm sure we have lots of information there and contact information for TVET, those kind of websites. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, wherever you get your podcasts, and take a listen and see what information we have there for you. Once again, for Just a Conversation, this is Mikul Elcock.
Aisha Reid.
Thank you for joining us. Until the next time, bye-bye.